uh, and girls. We are talking rights, justice, action for all women, and of course girls. Equally with us, we have, of course, Mr. Amachi Fabrice, who happens to be of the PAP party. He is equally the coordinator for the party at the level of Jikwa. Is that? Mumu, rather, Mumu division in the northwest region of Cameroon. He wants to become, he's the future mayor, Mr. Mayor. We say, welcome in the Republican debate. It's a pleasure for us to have a representative of this party coming from this area. We say good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tabi. Thank you very much, my fellow panelists. It is a wonderful thing to be here today. I want to especially extend gratitude to all our mothers out there who are preparing to celebrate their events for tomorrow, especially the energetic lady we have in the PAP party all over the Cameroon. I say happy Women's Day to you. It is my pleasure to be here today to talk about major challenges like for the Anglophone crisis that we saw, that we are seeing as it is unfolding every day, and also to look at how our mothers do celebrate their day. I am grateful, and I believe that as we are here and our viewers are out there, they are going to enjoy their stay with us as we move on with the activities of the day.
How is Mumu?
Momo is very fine, and I want to say Momo is about to take a new turn as PAP is gradually storming the area. We are building a team of energetic young men mixed with energetic ladies that want to transform the entire philosophy of the area that will be characterized with democratic principles, developmental projects, and social cohesion for everybody. As long as you are an indigenous of Momo, those who are already aware, they know and they have seen what we are doing already, going from Njikwa, Widiko, Mngi, Batibo, and Bengui Central. We are building a strong team to see how we can make our environment lively again. For example, if you go to areas like Njikwa, everybody is
It's not time for campaign, my brother.
Thank
It's
you
not your
very
time for
much.
campaign, eh? It's not your time for campaign. We say thank you for coming. We know that you are of the PAP party. Equally, with us on this platform, we have our researcher, the man who is doing research on the Anglophone crisis. They call him Hassan Sama. Hassan, we say, of course, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tabi. It's always a pleasure to be part of your team. Yeah. I just wish to extend my greetings to my co-panelists, to the technicians in the background working with you, to the televiewers out there in their numbers. And I do hope that what we are going to say here today, as usual, will impact on some person somewhere.
We say thank you for coming. We have another fervent politician who has just joined us. He's equally a political analyst, a militant of a political party, the CRM party. And of course, we know that he has many caskets. At times, he's a sports analyst too, a sports consultant. He's a pedagogue, he's an educationist. Prince Pierre Ejede, we say you are welcome. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tabi Clarkson. Good evening to this afternoon. Good afternoon to all the, to all the followers of Campus Television. Good afternoon to the panelists. It's always a pleasure being on your platform.
It's a pleasure to have you. Without any waste of time, we shall begin with our first topic. We are talking the International Day of the Women. I'll put it that way, and of course, we are talking justice. But, Madam, apart from this celebration and so on and so forth, can we say the International Women's Day is a day for celebration, or rather, it's a day for people to reflect, for women to reflect on how to better their conditions?
The International Day of the Women is a day of celebration. It is the day for reflection. It is a symbolic day that is set aside for the valorization of the woman. Now, this fight for women's rights is dated long in the 19th century, and until now, we must acknowledge that the fight has made a lot of progress. There are many things that have been achieved on the way. For example, the very fact that I am here seated amongst you and talking to the entire nation is a very big success. It is an achievement for the fight. The very fact
So before
that
it was impossible.
it
for
was
women?
very impossible for women. Where would I have had the authorization to be here on TV? Where would I have had the right to talk among men? Where would I have had even the right to go to school, to know some of the salient things that are happening in the society before I come out to talk? And most at times, even the things that I knew, I would say it to a man for the man to come and say it. I would not come out like a woman, because of course the woman was also born an intelligent person naturally, and then the woman has had ideas that could help to push the society ahead, but she did not have the authority, the right to stand as a woman to talk, so that many times the contributions that women could make in the society were done through men. So our ideas now were channeled either to our husbands or any other man in the society that can push it ahead. And so when you and is a woman, because the women were always behind pushing the men ahead, giving their ideas through the man, and it is the voice of the man that was heard. But today, the woman has the right to come out and talk for herself and talk her own opinion. You know, when you are talking through somebody, the person will take what suits that person. So if I am talking through my husband and I am talking about something that has to do with ameliorating my own situation, if my husband does not think it is okay with him, he will not say it. But today we have the right to come out and advocate for things that concern us, advocate for things that will ameliorate our rights in the society. And I think that as far since this fight started, we have many things. If I want to enumerate them here, like I just said, I am here. If you go to schools, you see many women going to school. If you see, there are jobs that women are doing out here that were strictly meant for men. And one of the discriminatory aspects, you know, in those days, jobs that women and men will do, for example, they will do, but the man will be paid higher than the woman. They are doing the same job, they'll put in the same hours, the same effort, and the man will have greater pay package than the woman.
Maybe because the man has greater responsibilities too.
Simply because he is the man and she is the woman. Yes, you cannot count what is the man's responsibility that is not equal to the woman's responsibility. It is the same. It is the same. If the man spends money for food, the woman also spends for food. You see, so that is what we were claiming, that if we are working the same hours and the men are working the same hours, we have the right to be paid equally. And now when you talk of celebration, yes, of course, it is time for celebration and it is time for reflection, because these things
Are we celebrate and reflect at the same time?
Yes, of course, because of course these things are not done in a day. It is not done in a day. The Women's Day, the 8th of March, is just a symbolic day. But we have all the days of the year. We have all the days of the month. We have all the days of a period to reflect on these things. And so while celebrating, we need to reflect, because there is so much that is left to be done.
International Women's Day, Principe Jedem, a day for reflection, a day for celebration.
Is it a commemoration of the International Day of the Woman? That word commemoration comes first? I'm asking.
No, I don't know. We are talking of celebration.
Are we commemorating, or are we? No, I'm not refusing that we are not celebrating. I'm not refusing that maybe we are not reflecting. But I'm asking if it is commemoration of the International Day of the Woman.
We are celebrating. We are celebrating the
Mr.
Women's
Tabi
Day.
Clarkson. Yes, actually, it needs to be a day of. This day needs to be a day of celebration. It needs to be a day of celebration, but the real problem is that the woman has always had its place in the African society. The woman has always had its place in the African society, even at the political structure itself. It is good that today we should not be telling lies, because some people think that when maybe to be a woman is maybe to challenge a man. No, I think that is not the aspect about it. The woman has always had its place in the African society. If you look at the African society in time immemorial, you look at the social structure, you always found that the woman has had its place. You look at the economic, you realize that in some societies, even the women were even more economically powerful than men. But now, we cannot refuse that at some time there have not been a level of discrimination about the women. Now, for example, if you take like the Bakosi setup that I come from, we have traditional setups where the women also have their traditional setups that they control in terms of the political evolution of the land. And maybe if you go to other in other areas, I'm talking of a decentralized society, because in Cameroon we have decentralized societies and we have centralized societies. I don't want us to take this debate to look at it in the westernized way of it. I want us to come down to the Africanist tendencies. You realize that the woman has always had its place, but the problem is the discrimination, a sort of discrimination with the men, coming now with the imposition of the Western culture. It is the Western culture that came and imposed some certain norms that made that men were seen more of controlling the political structure in our contemporary society, that maybe some women might be thinking that maybe they were being marginalized. Mr. Tabi Clarkson. So what my point that I'm trying to buttress is that in the African way of life, the woman has always had her place and her role to play within the society. If you go to let's take for example the Bafut setup, or let's take for example the Nkambe setup of governance, you realize that in the political structure of the Nkambe setup of governance, I know the reason why I'm taking this example, if you realize that the political setup of the Nkambe governance, there is in the political structure, there is the men have their what they call the Ngomba house, and the women also have the Ngomba house, which is being controlled by the Queen Mother. I mean the centralized society of maybe the Nkambe structure. I'm talking of the Nkambe Bafut and many other societies that you see that they have their role to play alongside the men who carry some certain responsibilities in terms of the political structure of the land. But today, the problematic is our contemporary, as I said, our contemporary society. What role does the woman have? In terms of our contemporary society? Now, such questions today about the women that was growing maybe in the 90s, to look at how women may be more involved in the political evolution of the country. You realize that with the revision of the electoral code in 2000, the revision of the electoral code in November 2012, you realize that it gave more responsibility that women must be involved in terms of the political setup of the land. Now, take note, when in the parliamentary elections, there is what we call the substantive and the alternate. The electoral code is very clear and stipulates that when a man is a substantive, it must be a woman who is the alternate. And if a man and vice versa, and if a woman is the substantive, a man is the alternate. So you see that some certain level of evolution has been had been done, but the problem we are having is Cameroon itself today.
Yeah, land.
Cameroon itself today. Those that have power today have hijacked that that evolution of the woman in terms of the political aspect of it. It's those that are governing today that there is still that lack of there is still that blockage in terms of that political evolution. Take note, with the last census in Cameroon in the early 2000s that was conducted in Cameroon, you realize that the statistics show that we had about 52% of women in 52% of women in the country. So in what we are saying is that if maybe things were moving the way that it ought to be from the spring of the 90s, we would have realized that today or tomorrow, which is the 8th of March, would have been more of, it is a day of celebration in commemoration of the reflections of the evolution of the woman within the society.
Thank you, the historian, the pedagogue. I know that he will come with his Africanism and so on. We say thank you, Prince Pierre Jede. Yes, Amachi, Fabrice, tell us, what is your take on this issue? A day for reflection, a day for celebration?
I will not deny the fact that women deserve to be celebrated, because women play a vital role in the economic life of the society and the family. They are the one managing the home affairs and everything. In the political sphere, women play the role of dual leadership. If a woman is a leader, the husband is a leader, automatically that woman becomes a leader on that man. In the other aspect of social life, women play a vital role to associate the family and everything that evolves. Women have a lot of potentials in them that deserve to be celebrated. So we celebrate the women. They deserve to be celebrated in every aspect. They deserve it. But now I differ a bit in terms of reflection. When we talk about celebrating the women and reflecting at the same time, it becomes complex. Why should we reflect on what they are already celebrating? Because they could say, okay, let us reflect, and then we celebrate. But they are saying that they are reflecting and celebrating, meaning that they had already reflected on their achievements and they are celebrating their achievement at the same time. So when we talk about the
women are saying that they are marginalized.
They are marginalized. I don't see the possibility of women being marginalized, because even us in Cameroon, we are being ruled by women. Yeah.
Is that?
It's that. We are being ruled by women. We are managed by women. So how can they say they are marginalized? So if they are actually reflecting, and then they have...
How can you say we are managed by women in Cameroon? I don't understand.
Mr. Tabi?
Yeah.
Let me tell you the truth. Even your wife in your home manage you. Your wife is the one managing you, controlling every affair of the house. You only go out and come back. She is the one taking care of the kids and everything. So she is the government of the house. So they are not marginalized. Women are not marginalized. Any woman that says she is marginalized automatically is a liar. So, but what has actually changed the narrative is that many women do not reflect. Many women jubilate out of ignorance. Ignorance puts them into thinking that the day a women day is a day to get yourself spoiled, drink yourself to stupor, you sleep in the gutters, you do terrible things on that day in the name of reflecting and jubilating. That becomes abuse. They are abusing the day. Many women out there abuse the day. They don't reflect on the importance of the day. Because if a woman actually reflects on the importance of the day, our children will not be in the house without going to school. Yet the mother is putting on the woman wrapper, the women's day wrapper on the body. Now they are crying of the cost of 25,000 francs per yacht. But children are going to school, but they do everything possible to put on the dress. It is not normal. It is an abuse. They don't have food. Children don't have food to eat. But when you pass through the street of Bokolo, go through the Lancelot of Bankobo, you will see everywhere the material hang on every shop. So does it mean that money is reserved only to be bought only for the women attire, the merrymaking and the drinking to stupor and destruction of the entire community for a particular day. No, women need to sit and reflect on the aspect of governance in the country.
But you said a while ago that they need to be celebrated.
They need to be celebrated, but not through the abuse method they are using today. Because if you go out there today, you will see terrible things that the women are doing. That's not celebration. That's an abuse of opportunity. An abuse of opportunity. The opportunity has been given to them to express and bring themselves to light, participate in the development of the country, contribute in the political analysis of the country. And then why can't they mobilize themselves and work and build a better society rather than destroying destroy the society the more, as we are already suffering and crying for a long period of time now. So women should sit down instead of doing terrible things in the society. Sit down, reflect, contribute, participate in peace building. Participate in exhibiting social values, social norms that can better manage the society, that can better build our nation Cameroon. The drinking to stupor and sleeping in the gutter does not intend for celebrations.
Thank you. We are coming back to you, Mr. Amashi. The time for us to have Hassan Sama. Hassan Sama, a day for reflection, a day for celebration, the Women's Day.
Thank you once more. I think that I've listened to my co-panelists here. I don't have anything, I don't make judgment on what they have said, because our judges are out there. They are not on this platform where we are. But I think that the question you raised, my friends, they seem to have been discussing some other thing, not that one. Because you have asked, this question is very simple. Is it time for jubilation or time for reflection? Now, I want to first of all, when we are talking of jubilation comes after an achievement. And what is the International Women's Day all about? It is about gender equality. It's about reproductive rights of a woman. It is about violence and abuse against women. These are the reasons. These are the three fundamental reasons that were put forward that made it that women should start now sitting down and trying to reflect. You must reflect in life, as Madame Sylvia said. Reflection is every day, because the society is not stagnant. As long as society is changing, means that you keep on reflecting. What was good yesterday is not the same thing today. So they have to reflect. And after reflection, what we should be asking now the women, have you people achieved something that should warrant jubilation? And I think that one of our panelists said it very well, that they think that they have done it, they have achieved a lot, and they have right to jubilate. And what we should only do is to support them. Now, there's something I want, what I have never understood, and I think that when Madame Sylvia, as a woman, may take over the floor, she may be able to give me some clear-cut answers to it. When women say they are looking for equality, gender equality, had it ever at any point been obstructed by the men? I remember very well that the first, for man to be intelligent, it was a woman who betrayed Adam. Obviously. And Adam's eyes became open. What happened that after Eve was so intelligent and made open Adam's eyes, what happened that women did not profit from there? Two, maybe they didn't profit because it is universally held that their being on earth or their being born was as a result of man's magnanimity to have given one of his ribs, and that's where the woman came from. And which already meant that if it was thanks to the woman, to the man, that the woman became something, I think that the woman should just be grateful enough and continue to maybe adore the man. Now, and the third thing is, are these women now struggling now to fight the man that brought them to existence? If you are fighting, how far will you go? Now, I've heard some of my colleagues here, they talk of women have always had their place. It's true. But the question you raised, my problem was that of the time frame. You are talking about which women? Are you talking about Cameroon women, African women, or women in general? If you are talking about Cameroonian women, we can go back to our various communities and we talk. In my community, the women during wars, while the men were the one who led the wars, in the background, the people who really played the war, the greatest witches were women who held the war in the background and they played the war. So they had it. Then the second thing I want to find out from women, when you are talking of, it started as a Women's Day, 1909. Why was it called a Women's Day, not Women's Day? A Women's Day because it was a peculiar societal problem. The people started it, that was in New York. They had their problem, women of New York, and they started fighting for something. And with time, it got spread out, and today it has become the Women's Day. But now, is Madame Sylvia, who is with us here, the way you see this Women's Day, is it the same like your mother in the village sees? Do they even know something exists? And if today you people are here in towns, because you have gone to school, you are fighting for equality, you are fighting for reproductive rights. Reproductive rights in the world away means that a woman decides that a man, if I want to have 4 children, my opinion must count. You, the man, you cannot be the one to impose on me. That's what we call reproductive rights. What do I need? That the woman has it. But the question now is, all this fight, where does it take us to? I think that we should do. Then the one of this abuse against women. Who is abusing women? Why do women think that they are the only one being abused? We have seen on social media women who have strangled men, killed them, and done all type of things. Does it mean that the women are always satisfied that they should give them this one day, so they should fight for all these abuses? I don't think one day will be enough for women. So I think that the women should have more time for better things than this. It's just the same like religion. I hear some of you people are sleeping in the Catholic Church. The question I keep asking is, they said the Catholic Church that started in the Middle East there were 12 disciples. Was there any disciple who came from Africa? Why are Africans the ones sleeping in churches when among the 12 disciples there was no African?
Madam Sylvia, many questions that have been posed. Can we say women today are marginalized?
Mr. Tabi, I'm not going to answer your question directly, but I'm going to throw more light, because I think that for the many questions that are being asked concerning the celebration of the International Day of the Woman, it is due to maybe ignorance, it is due to maybe refusal to accept certain things that the woman is fighting for. And I will just explain what the little time that you have given me will explain, but I think that the education is going on every day in the society. So when we talk about the African tradition, the woman has always had her place. Yes, I accept. Because of course I'm an African woman, and I know that the woman has always had her place in the African society. But I thank God that they put it that the woman has always had her place at the background of the society. The woman has always had her place. The African woman has always had her place in the kitchen. The African woman has always had her place in the house. The African woman has always had her place at the background, forwarding during war periods. The African woman had always had her place at the background, coaching the men to go ahead. The African woman has always had her place at the background. And now the African woman says, no, because I have this power, because I have this brilliant idea, why is my face not seen? Why must I pass through another person for my opinion to be heard? why will I not stand like I am sitting here now and talking? Must I write a note to Mr. Tabi and say this? Why will I not come and sit and say what I want? They are going for war front, and the woman has tactics to defeat the opponent. Why would the woman not take up the arms and go in front and command the troops? Because of course she has the strategic know-how. Why would she not go ahead and command the troops? Why would she stay behind? You see, so the woman is refusing the role to remain behind. Let her, Mr. Hassan has already asked about what Women's Day is all about. It is a bit worrisome when people think that Women's Day have come, or the women are actually coming to fight the men. No, there is no fight in the situation. It is a period, it is a demand for equal opportunities. We are talking about the opportunities. We are not talking about the man in the gender sense, in the gender sense of it. Now we must accept that the society, the way the society was stemmed, it is a patriarchal society. It is a patriarchal society. When we talk of the fight, it is a patriarchal society. Go to the lawmakers who make law in government. I'm happy that Mr. Epie just talked about provisions at the political sector that is providing now openings for women to come in. It means that at first there were no openings, you see. It means that at first there were no openings for the women to come in. So it is only being provided now, meaning it is because of a fight. It is thanks to the fight. Women are fighting to be heard, that their voice, their decisions should be made in the society, you see. So we are talking of equal opportunities. I don't know, do you know that it is only in 2017 that the women in Saudi Arabia were given the right to drive, to own a driving license and to drive a car? Do we know that? Do we know that it is just of recent that women are allowed to mount the pulpit and preach the word of God, no matter what they know? And you can see that for these things that women have been given the opportunity already to do, it is worth celebrating. And I want to answer my panelist, my fellow panelists here, that when we talk of celebration and reflection, celebration does not cancel reflection, and reflection does not cancel celebration. It is a journey. The fight for the right of the woman, or the place of the woman in the society, is a journey. And in that journey, from where we started, we can already say that this is what we have achieved. I am telling you that every woman who comes out of her house and goes to work and cater for the family is a product of the fight against women. Every woman who stands even now to condemn the very act is a product of the fight against. Allow me to talk. It is my day. I will not be marginalized in the midst of men. It is not because I am a woman, you see. So you have given right to other people to talk. Let me talk.
Who is blocking you from talking? Nobody's
no, because I already saw you when you started with your hand like that. Talking, it means I want to give it to somebody else, you see. So we must appreciate the fact, or we are able. Do you know, let me just say some salient things here. Do you know that even now in our society, for things concerning the health of the woman, a man must approve? Do you know that if a woman is sick and there is certain operation that has to be done on the body of the woman, her husband must approve? It means that if the husband disapproves, the woman will be left to die. Do you know that it happens in our society? And many men have refused and the women have died. Why would something that concerns my own body, I will not have the right to decide? Do you know that if, as a woman, if you go to certain barbing studios here in Yaoundé to cut your hair, they'll ask you to bring your husband, and many of them will refuse. That no, I'm not cutting the hair of the woman because I don't want a problem with a man. What is the law talking about it? What are we saying? Are women actually protected? Because of course, we know that in a patriarchal society, in a manly society with strength, I'm talking about physical strength, the woman does not match the man. Therefore, there must be laws binding that are protecting the woman from certain injustices that are happening in the society. Lately, we just saw a video of a man that actually, I don't want to see that, literally butchered his wife. Now, these are some of the things that the woman decry. What is the law talking about it? Do you think that the man just got up one day and butchered the woman? No. Many things had been happening that it is because of the incapability, inability for the woman to protect herself, then she finds herself in such a miserable condition. And we are not also saying, Pa Hassan, that there are things that women are not doing in the society that that is bad. We, the women, when we fight for the right for women, we also sensitize and educate the woman on the things that they should do so that the society can go forward, you see. So the society greatly depends on women. This is a reality. If there are some realities that when you accept and you put it through, you will be the one to benefit. I will tell you that there are many men in the society today that will acknowledge the fact that because I allowed my wife to go out and work, the burden, the financial burden on me in the family has been lightened. There are many men that will appreciate now the fact that the women or their wives have been their support system. Their daughters have been their support system. Their sisters have been their support systems. So I think that when we are talking about sending the woman forward, it is something because people have seen it manifesting and they have seen the benefit that comes when a woman is ahead, when a woman is projected, when the woman is giving her due right. So let us all, as a society, one of the aspects of the theme is about justice. It's about action. Yeah. And when we talk of action, we are talking of collective action. The man and the woman and the girl child, let us stand together and fight for the cause of the woman because, of course, it is beneficiary for the society at large.
Thank you, Madame Jang. I hope that you will not monopolize the parole because it's the International Women's Day. The day will be celebrated tomorrow. And
she has spoken for 12 minutes. I hope I will speak for 12 minutes.
She has not spoken for 12 minutes.
She has spoken for 12 minutes.
Anyway, we are coming to you, Prince Pierre Jede. Can we say the women are protected in Cameroon?
Mr. Tabby Clarkson, the problem we have in this country and this continent is the westernization of ideas. That is the problematic that we have. I am an Africanist, a Pan-Africanist, and if you listen to Madame Jan Sylvia talk, you just see the Western aspect of it. The Western aspect, that is the brainwash of the Western education. I will begin by saying that she made mention of, she took an example of the Bible.
Mr. Tabi,
allow him to.
No, wait.
Please, allow him to laugh.
No. I will not accept that I am brainwashed because I am not. I will not accept.
No, Madam, I'm talking
about the westernized culture.
So
if you want to bring out your points, bring out your points without putting it on me.
It's for the televiewers to talk.
Bring out your points. No,
it's a brainwash. It's a general phenomenon. And you fall in that phenomenon. It's a brainwash of ideas. You accept it or you don't accept it.
Madam, you call us that were ignorant. Do we complain?
Do we complain?
Did I call your name?
Yes.
I did not say Pa Hassan.
No, Madam.
No, but co-panelists.
Is that Tabby Clarkson? What I'm saying is that
don't allow him
it's a brainwash. Are you understand what I'm saying? Of westernized ideas.
It's your point of view.
I have always. It's good that you know that is my point of view. You needed to respect my point of view before you getting me.
But don't call my name in your point of view.
No, but you also called my name. You made mention of my name. We are in a debate, madam. We are not in an isolated. This is a debate. In a debate, we are. This is a discourse. Yes, so I have the right. I have the right to call your name. Yes, it's a discourse. So what I'm saying is that it's a brainwash of westernized ideas. How can you make mention of the Bible when we are talking of the African
woman. You make mention of the Bible. How? The Bible is westernized culture. It is the Jewish tradition. That is the Bible. It's a Jewish tradition. The Bible was coupled in the 15th century. The televiewers should follow us.
The 12 disciples were not.
That is not even my debate. The Bible was coupled. The manuscripts were coupled together in the 15th century when religion had always been from the creation of man. We've had religions. I'm talking of the Christian religion. The Christian religion came in Cameroon. In this Cameroon that we are saying, in 1843, by Joseph Merrick and Alfred Seca. That is how religion came to Cameroon, this Christian religion. People should not be coming and be taking the Jewish tradition. Let me tell you, the Jesus Christ they are talking of in the Bible, the problem that Jesus Christ had with his kinsmen, I call them his kinsmen, the scribes, the Pharisees, was because of his identity.
Was there an African there?
Was because of his identity. The question was because I want to make it very clear. It was because of his identity. It was a Jewish tradition. So today you cannot take no.
That's why the problem.
Let us come back.
No, I am there.
There's only one moderator.
I am there. In the Jewish tradition, the woman had his place.
Her place.
The woman had a place, I beg your pardon. The woman had a place in the Jewish tradition. And in the Jewish tradition, when you were hearing about the scribes, the Pharisees, you did not hear the name of a woman there. You did not hear the name of a woman. In the Jewish tradition, when Jesus Christ was in the court, in the Sanhedrin, in the court, when he was being judged, there was no woman there who was a judge. But do you know that in the African society, we have, that's why I took an example of the Cambe Fundum, that the women have a court. That they listen to themselves, to their cases. When a woman causes something, they bring her to their court and look at that matter. So today we cannot be taking westernized. That is what I'm in the topic. It's a hypothesis that I was bringing. You cannot be taking the westernized way of life. Mr. Sama Hassan made mention of the Woman Day in 1909. Was it an African affair? It was a westernized affair. The American had their problems.
Are you saying that we should not celebrate our women?
I'm saying that it is a day. That is why when I began, I started talking of are we commemorating? That was my problematic answer to this debate, because I had an objective to attain at the end of the debate. That is why you call me a political analyst. I'm not coming here to come and please people. I'm coming here to educate the televiewers. I was talking of commemoration. Now, when the United Nations in 1948 relooked on the problems that the woman was having, that was coming from puissance like America, which is the core of the United Nations. Let me tell you that some of those ideas are being influenced, imposed on people. What we needed to do as maybe Africans, Cameroonians, is that we take our own realities of the problem of a woman. Are you understand what I'm saying? And see how we can reflect on solving our own problems.
Let's come to the Cameroonian realities then.
The Cameroonian realities. Thank you very much, Mr. Tabi Clarkson. That you are seeing that the debate is moving. The Cameroonian realities is that when you followed my first piece of the parole, I made mention that the woman in the Cameroonian society had never had such problems as such. If we go even time immemorial, even before the creation of the state of Cameroon, the woman has always had her place. That is what I said. But I made mention that with the evolution of things, there was that level of marginalization in terms of the political structure. We accepted democracy. Democracy was not our thing. I understand we accepted democracy. Democracy is not our thing. Now, when we accepted democracy, now it meant that we needed to.
It's equally a westernized thing. Yeah?
That's what I'm saying. I said
yes.
We accepted.
Yes.
The politicians accepted. It was forced on us by the Western end. You understand what I'm saying? So we accepted now. Our realities now needed to accommodate the woman who had always been on the background, to see how she tuning
The
now to come.
Cameroonian woman of today and the Cameroonian woman of yesterday, at least
They are two different things.
and it's a good thing.
It is a big evolution, and there are certain evolutions that need to be made. Like I made mention that if you look at today, if you go to the National Assembly today, the mayor of my town in Tombe has been she's a woman. She has been the mayor there now for 17 to 18 years. If you go to the National Assembly, you realize that I'm talking about the governance of Mr. Sama Hassan, who works at the National Assembly. You realize that many women are parliamentarians. Though maybe it would not be. I even made mention that the last census was very clear, showed that the women in Cameroon are 52%, which means that they have a variation more than men, so they need a greater representation. There is no school in Cameroon today that they will refuse women not to are there. Women are medics, women are pilots, women are taxi drivers, women are as a teacher.
I mean, colonel in the army.
Those are some of the things that the woman need to reflect. Like a day like this, they come up with some certain level of declarations that we need a woman in general to make sure that at least, you understand what I'm saying, their fight that they are fighting goes to the brim, but not that they are being marginalized. We have women who are commissioners. The women command. Are you understanding what I'm saying? We have women. If you go to most lycées, government lycées in Yaoundé, in the center, most of the principals of those lycées are women. Make a census. Lycée Tugebe is a woman. Lycée Mendon is a woman. And many other lycées to tell you that.
And the minister of secondary education is a woman.
She's a woman. And so we need that evolution of things, so that the woman should really be felt with the population that they have. And in terms of election also, I was uploading the electoral code that went on an advancement of making sure that the woman is being protected on the electoral code.
Thank you.
Mr. Tabi Class, to conclude by here to say that the Cameroonians should know that the problem within the society, I love what Marsha said, that the problem within the society is that every man, Mr. Tabi Class, is being managed by a woman. Yes, I am 100% d'accord with him that every man is being managed by a woman. So the woman has a very big role. And there is a question that you ask, that the answer that you wanted for Basha, he did not give you, but I know that he shied from that question. Yes, this state of Cameroon today, is being managed by a woman. When I say it's being managed by a woman,
I never hear.
Thank you.
Me, I never hear.
The woman behind the president of the president of the republic.
Any woman manage her home. We say thank you.
No,
We have heard you. Thank you, Mr. Amashi. Yes, tell us. You are saying that women are not marginalized, that they are protected enough in Cameroon.
Yeah.
Be careful. I know what trouble.
It is somehow very, very ironical for a woman to say that they are marginalized in this country. Very, very ironical. It's an irony. Because you cannot make two movements in this country into an office without seeing at least two of those offices occupied by women. And the woman was still stand and say they are marginalized. It still baffles me. Because they are already dominating the men. 100%. They are doing everything possible. They are using the name of human marginalization, infiltrating all corners, all the hooks and chronics, using the human marginalization. Very soon, my brother, the man will have no place on this earth. Not only Cameroon, on this earth. Because the way the women are, it is like you giving a child biscuits, the child take and eat and say, you did not give me. You give more. You give more. As you keep giving, the biscuit get finished in the back. At the end of the day, you yourself, you never have what to eat because I've already consumed all. Like what Mr. Appiah said that the Western culture being imported, we are trying to live a corporate life. The African life is not what we are seeing today. Through the concept of globalization. Globalization, digitalization and other stuffs are what they are gradually killing the African culture. I wonder if my great-grandparents ever celebrated Women's Day. I saw how they were humbled. I heard one minister said already on TV that women who are not ready to be submissive to their husbands should not get married. She is a minister. Before she comes out to make such declarations, it therefore means that she has value for the African culture, because the place of an African woman is to be submissive to their wife, to their husband.
Yeah, the Bible says it.
But today, mark me tomorrow 8 March, you will see women coming back at 2 o'clock in the morning to knock the door for their husbands to get up
and give to a man.
For their husbands to get up and open the door for them to enter in the name of celebrating and reflecting. What were they reflecting? What are they reflecting about? No, seriously, let us look at this thing very well. It is some sort of a virus that is eating deep, and the men too must sit up and fight against it. The aspect of celebrating woman, it should be a man thing. You as a man have the right to celebrate your wife, celebrate your daughters. Not the woman coming up to say they want to celebrate themselves. It never means that they know what they are doing.
You are also asking for a man's day to be celebrated.
Man's day, we celebrate our day every day because they want suffering. We suffer while they enjoy. So we celebrate ourselves. We are the one who have to organize ourselves to celebrate the
So
woman.
you are saying
not
that,
the woman coming
that,
up to say they want to celebrate a day in the aspect of reflecting.
There is no reason for women to say that they are marginalized.
There is no reason. I don't see any reason, except they want to copy the Western culture that says if a man slaps you, you take him to court, you sign for this, you do this. In the African culture, that does not exist. A woman supposed to be submissive. You cooperate, you collaborate, you execute your tasks because you have 90% of the task at home and to manage the life of your husband.
Mr. Tabi Klassen, let me just take 30 seconds of Mr. Mashi's time to say that I'm even one of those, God be my helper, that I am in the National Assembly tomorrow. Polygamy will be the order of the day. I'm telling you, no, Mr. Tabi Klassen, I'm talking this because today in our African society, we have lost values until, and with the brainwash that I'm talking of the brainwash of the westernized culture, you've realized, because we copied some things without knowing. Let me tell you how the white man arranged itself. We have a marriage contract. Are you going to understand what I'm saying? 3 years, it's not working. I take another, we divorce, I take another woman. That is another form of polygamy. So the white man himself, the Western culture itself, provides that a man can go as far as having even 100 women, based on the way that they program themselves. In African culture, no.
What does polygamy has to do with
polygamy has something to do
with the Women's Day celebration?
With the Women's Day celebration.
Yes, tell us.
Mr. Tabi Klassen, we need to educate the women that they should go into polygamous marriages. That is the African cultural values. That they should go into polygamous marriage, and that will help to curb prostitution. That will help to curb unwanted pregnancies. That will help to curb.
In that aspect, excuse me, let me take back my 30 seconds I collected.
But I did not complete.
When he is saying that polygamy should be a legal attribute.
No, sir, polygamy is legal.
It's legal.
Yeah.
You also have to make provisions for the men to have a sustainable life before being able to manage 2 women.
We are not refusing.
Because with the economy of the country, you cannot advise a man to have one he's unable to manage, and then he goes again to take number 2 because you want to legalize polygamy. Without it is legalized,
but now you are bringing it to the National Assembly for what?
I'm bringing it to the National Assembly that it should be a rule.
Okay, thank you. The time for us to take Madam Sylvia. I will marginalize him again. Madam Sylvia Njang, tell us, it's true that they are talking of this issue of marginalization. Are women really marginalized today? Because we have the impression that the woman of today and the woman of yesterday, at least the one of today, is more better in terms of positions, in terms of public outings, the way you were putting it a while ago, at least the woman of today, as compared to the woman of yesterday, they are two different things.
The situation of the woman in the society is a crucial one that needs to be addressed by everyone. And if at one point in time we think that the woman needs to have a place in the society, that the voice of the woman needs to be heard, that the discrimination meted on the woman needs to be countered, and that the woman needs to be accorded the liberty to grow and to express her potential, the man need the adequate education. That is it.
Yes, Pa Sang, it's true that we are talking of the women today. Can we say the Cameroonian woman is protected enough, is not being marginalized, as some are saying on this panel?
Yeah, you know, we are in a debate, which sometimes I always call it a conversation. So I would not want people to flare up if somebody makes a statement, maybe that do not tie with your own thinking. After this, normally we are going to share a drink. I think that another thing that I want to make another.
You are doing publicity. Yeah.
I want to make another observation. I want to make is that our lone lady on the panel should not think that we are talking about her.
No, let me say something. It is, we are on a debate panel, you see, and when you listen to people talk, you understand, you see that maybe you are not in the right place, or maybe you don't actually feel involved, you see, because I don't know why, I'll say it, I don't know why Mr. Tabi has a topic, and we are debating, we are coming here to debate on a topic, and then he is allowing, like, it is, I don't know, I'm not the moderator of this debate, but then I really actually do not think that a debate is an intellectual exercise, and I don't think that maybe when we come here, we talk, we are rational, everybody has the right to express their own points of view, you see, but my own conclusion that I have made is that, like I just said, that for things to be the way women and some women advocates want it to be, the conclusion, the man needs to be educated. The man needs to be educated. The boy child needs to be educated. Education, education, education. That is my own summary. So it is not about me.
Pastor, you have the mic.
Okay, I want to thank Madame Sylvia for the intervention she just made. I just continue. What I want to equally make observation is that whatever we are saying here, sometimes it may not be our own personal position in life, but we are in an intellectual exercise, as she says. And I've always said that the best people judging are not here, they are out there. They'll always call you, they'll always write into this thing, whatever we said. That said, I will make some few clarifications. Madame Sylvia, when she took the floor, she gave the impression that we are saying that women must remain in the background. And she quoted the example that I said that during wars like in our communities, women play a very big role in the background. It is strategies, war strategies. Do you think what is happening now in the Middle East between Iran and America? Iran is the one fighting America. There are people in the background who are fighting America. So it's strategy. It doesn't mean that when the woman is playing that role here, it means that she cannot be at the forefront.
Mr. Summers, and the person who is behind the strategy of America is a woman.
Please allow him to talk, please.
So there is the strategy.
No, I'm just
a war situation has strategies. You are playing this role at this particular moment, at this time, in this area, and the like. Then I will not say there's no particular order in which I'm presenting my points. One time in the National Assembly, it will be an example, we'll know whether women are really crying, would they have reason to cry. One time at the National Assembly, an opposition member of parliament, a woman from an opposition political party, came up with this, with a proposed bill on genital, female genital mutilation. Do you know the people who stood against her? They were women from the CPDM regime. Why? Just because it came from the opposition. So, in this case now, who was marginalizing the woman? And then, Madame Sylvia, when she spoke there, when I first took my floor, I said, she says they have right to celebrate. She as a woman, and we only have to accompany her. That's what I said. No, so yes, but the thing is that Madame Sylvia should not think that for the issues concerning woman emancipation or whatever woman there, it must be a woman who will speak better than the man. On the contrary, the men, we have the woman in front of us. When you wear a dress, you hardly know how fitting it is. It is the outsider who tells you that there's something wrong or not. So, Madame Sylvia, I want to plead with her that we men, we have these women, and we can talk more about the women than they can talk about themselves.
Are women marginalized today?
I am still there. I'm on the topic. I've not gone
I know
out.
that you are still on the topic. Please tell us, do you think they're marginalized in Cameroon today? Please answer my question before we continue.
Women are not marginalized in the real sense of the word in Cameroon because, as my able politician here said, laws have been crafted these days so whether women can have their place in society. Most women say they are not found at the decision-making levels. They are not found here. They are not found here. Are those things given on the platter of gold? How many of them are working hard to merit their position? Those who have worked hard, they are generals, they are colonels, they are commissioners, they are this. They have worked hard. Why should it be that women need to be this? Even the laws that you quoted, to me, that was what we call it was just a gift by the president that if a substantive candidate is male, the female should be there.
Ultimate.
And vice versa.
It
They were harsh because in life, everybody has to fight. You have to fight for your position.
Yes.
But we gave them that. But there's something that you said about women. You said that I don't even know why women are really complaining that when you enter an office, everywhere are women. What the women are complaining is not working in an office. It's not being in the classroom. It is telling you that they want to be where decisions are taken. But as I earlier said, how do they want to reach there? Because if you look at the protocol, the state protocol in Cameroon, from the 1st to the 20%, there's no woman. You know that. So the women are saying that we're not having much. But I want to tell the women, you people should work hard. Go and work hard. The laws have been put in place for you people. Just watch and see how many of them will want to be to be candidates for the election that is coming. You just watch and see how many will want to be. They will not want to be.
But
then I want
please allow him to learn. Allow him to learn.
First of all, I have not even taken the time others have taken.
But
I'm not for time. I'll have something to say. What I say that I will stop.
learn.
I have heard, because when we come here, we are not only coming here to say what we believe in, what we know. We are equally coming here to learn. I don't know who said it, that the more that imported democracy, that African hardened democracy. No. The best democracies existed first in Africa. Do you know in your village, you have the king, you have the Ngumba, and you have all these societies. They do what they call check and balances. It existed before the one man came to Africa. So we cannot now just withdraw ourselves and think that something only came from somewhere. But
was that democracy?
Yes, it was democracy. Democracy itself is about accountability, checks and balances. That's what I call democracy to me. Yes,
was that democracy?
It was democracy. Finally,
okay.
Do you know that medicine today, that when you have headache, you go and you sleep in the hospital for 2 months. They give you more than 1,000 different drugs. I don't know which one finally cures you. In Africa, medicine started in Africa. Are you aware of that? Medicine started in Africa, and the Western world came here and called us that we're primitive people and decided to take our barks of trees, when and transform into chemicals that is killing us more and more. Today, I no longer go to hospital. I go back to my roots. The only thing I can take me to hospital, if at all I can ever go there, is if, for example, I have a fracture, I want to see the positioning of the fracture. But in those days, without an X-ray, our forefathers, parents, they were able to replace a complete damaged leg and the like. So Africa has never been lagging behind. What is happening in Africa is that Africa have been very unfortunate that civilization started in Africa, but they didn't know how to manage it.
Thank you.
Mr. Tabi Clarkson. No, 10 seconds.
Allow me to do my job. Mr.
I was a bit. No, Mr. Tabi Clarkson is very important. No, Mr. Tabi Clarkson. People have been cutting people that. Mr. Tabi Clarkson. Mr. Tabi Clarkson. People have been cutting people and they are speaking. And they also speak. Before you conclude on this topic, the 10 seconds would have passed. Mr. Tabi Clarkson. I want to tell you that televiewers complain a lot. There is a televiewer who called me the other day that you don't want people to talk on the panel. You don't invite me again on your platform.
Don't come again. Don't come again. You can't even leave the stage at this moment.
I cannot leave.
You can't even leave. You want to leave.
I cannot leave.
Allow me to do my job. Allow me to do my job. Allow me to do my job, sir.
You can't people.
I will not come here again. I will not invite you again.
Don't.
I will not even give you again the power on this panel.
Don't give.
Yes. Allow me to do my job, please.
Don't change. You don't have the right to
talk. Allow me to do my job.
The journalist needs to respect the panel.
Allow me to do my job, sir.
The journalist needs to respect the panel.
Allow me to do my job, sir.
I will take you to the national communication.
Allow. Yes, good afternoon to you all. Somebody just sent a message. Good afternoon to you. Yes, in Cameroon, women are being marginalized in the following aspects. He talks of violence against women. 51% of women report experiencing physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. He equally talks of economic disparities. Women represent 71% of workers in the informal sector, but earn lower wages and have limited access to some finances. And Mr. Dage George from the PAP party equally makes mention of these challenges, and he equally talks of the fact that we have limited access to education. We have other messages that we shall take in the course of this in this program. But before we conclude on this topic, each speaker will have a minute as we conclude on this first topic, because we don't have much time. We have another topic to discuss on. Mr. Mashi, what is your take? 1 minute as we conclude on this.
I want to say that in as much as we continue to listen to the women who say they have been marginalized, they will one day request to replace their reproductive organ with that of a man. That's the direction where they are gradually driving to, because when we look at their availability in the society, if you go to sectors like the basic education, it's made up of women. So how can they say they have a greater proportion in the private sector more than in the public sector? No, it is not possible. So women have an opportunity out there more than the men, in offices, in private offices, in public offices, they have. Even if they are not at the head, they make sure they have 55% of occupation than what the men have. So I believe women should stop the aspects that they keep crying every day that they are being marginalized. They are being marginalized. No, they are not. They just need to put more effort. Those that cry that are being marginalized probably are those that have not attained the level of an economic aspect or social life affairs. But gradually, as women are undergoing economic hardship, so are the men. So we must look at this from a balanced equilibrium, not trying to force it to be on our favor while disfavoring the other side. If they want to bring the Western world system in Africa that if the man is the president, a woman should be the vice, no, that is not an African culture. A woman does not rub soldier with a man in the African culture. The African culture gives the man as the head.
Thank you.
And the woman should be submissive. As they go out to celebrate their Women's Day, let them celebrate with dignity, with love, with patriotism, and with the understanding that they remain the African woman and they are out to project and demonstrate the culture of the African system.
Thank you. Mr. Pierre Jade, you have
Yes. What I wanted to say is that I was opportune that my mentality was being emancipated by a woman, and I want to give her credit today. She taught me in the university when I was in level 3. I'm talking of Professor Virginie Wanyaka. She teaches today at the War School in down here in Simbok. What she taught us has helped a lot in emancipating my ideas, because the key word was that if we want to develop ourselves, he was talking both for the women, the men, the first thing is to decolonize our mentalities and change our mindsets. So in conclusion, the word that I have today for women is for them to decolonize their mentalities and change their mindsets. Because after that course about that woman, when I started putting it in practice, reflecting intellectually, it is what gave me the stance today to think as a Pan-Africanist, because that course was wonderful and it changed a lot in my mentality. Thank you.
Yes, Madam Sylvia, your last word on this topic before we move on to our second topic, please.
Okay, I would just want to give a big shout out to all the women out there who are actually performing their roles as women in the society. To all these very strong and resilient women who are fighting for economic emancipation, for their health, and for the cause of the girl child, I want to applaud them. And I also want to plead with the powers that be, the stakeholders, to bring out such laws that could ameliorate the situation of the woman in the society. If we go to areas like the far north, we'll still discover that there are some girls that are being prohibited from attending school. There are children that are removed from classrooms and sent to marriages. There are also women who suffer consequences of acts that they are not being part of. For example, if we go to the war areas like in the northwest and in the southwest region, we'll see that men have been shot dead and the women remain with the children, taking care of the children. You see, so all these responsibilities are meted on the woman. The woman just needs the opportunity to show that she has potentials within her that can help ameliorate her own situation and that of the society at large. So I just want to say a very big shout out to especially my mother. I said from the beginning, Madame Bon Florence Nyang. She's such a strong woman, such a resilient woman that has brought up 10 children, 10 emancipated women, 5 emancipated women who, like myself, if I say something today that that gives somebody hope in life, it is thanks to her, because it is thanks to the education that I got from her. And I just want to say a very big shout out to other men, my dear panelists, who have come here today, because there are some people you call them to talk about women, they will refuse. They will not just want to talk, because anything concerning woman, the woman is bad for them. So I just want to say a very big shout out to you out there who are standing for the cause of the woman. To stand for the cause of a woman is like dragging somebody who is down and bring the person to your level, so that together we can move ahead. So thank you so very much.
The name of your
and
mom
I want
again is
to
what?
Madame Bong Florence
Madame
Nyang.
Bong Florence Nyang, we say
Yes.
thank you for taking time to watch Camdis television at this particular moment. Especially as you are a woman, you did a wonderful job. We are seeing the job that you actually did, Mama Florence Nyang. Yes, Mr. Hassan, your last word on this issue before we conclude.
Yeah, I want to conclude by taking from a statement from Madame Sylvia. She's appealing to the women back there that don't remain resilient. Don't feel frustrated. What she is simply telling them that instead of continuing to be weeping there that you are being marginalized, come out of your shell and you can find your way out. And that means concluding that nobody is marginalized, because as long as you can come out of your shell, when you are in a pit, when you fall into a pit, you don't remain there weeping. You are looking for a way out.
Thank you.
The women should be resilient. They should know that they have the same opportunities like men.
Thank you, Pa Hassan. We still have something like 4 or 5 minutes, but I will ask that they should give us again an additional 5 minutes. We shall have 10 more minutes before we conclude the program. The time for us to discuss our second topic, and we are beginning with you, given that we are talking the Anglophone crisis. You are a researcher on the Anglophone crisis. 4 persons have been arrested at the level of Belgium. Can we say it's good news? Can we say that is a step forward towards resolving the Anglophone crisis that actually erupted in 2006?
Many have been arrested. Many have been killed. Many have been imprisoned. The next question is, what next? What is the impact on the crisis? Is it by killing, arresting? Has it changed any situation? Maybe it has changed a bit. Do we need to wait for every 3 or 4 years to arrest some miserable hoodlums in the diaspora and become news in Cameroon, and we sing about it? Meanwhile, people are dying at home. No, I think that in my little work that I did, I did propose that when a crisis erupts, there are only 2 ways you can resolve it: by dialogue and by negotiation. And for you to reach as these 2 means of resolving the problem, first you must have to acknowledge the crisis that it exists. Even you must have to show remorse. Each party must say, "I'm sorry, I faulted here, and one day we should sit." Must show that. But what happened to our own case was that the party opposing the other one said there was even no crisis. And so now what I want to say is that we no longer need to be arresting people. We had arrested even the head of, let me call them, gang. What happened? What we need now is that we should call people to the negotiation table. It's no longer dialogue table. There's no longer dialogue. It's negotiation. And the negotiation will be based...
the difference is what? Dialogue and negotiation?
No, dialogue is when 2 people want to agree on something. But negotiation is the one that when we are now in the crisis, when the crisis has reached, dialogue is when it is at the infantile level. Negotiation is when 2 camps have 2 diametrically opposed positions. Means that when we sit on the table, for example, let me tell you 2 things that were around 3 things. There are many. Let me just tell. Well, if they sit on the negotiation table, the government of the Republic of Cameroon will say, "Okay, I'm going to release the prisoners of war." Let me put it that way. What are you giving? What are you sacrificing? you will sacrifice us goes down. Okay, if that one accept, they note it. The next thing, they will say, okay, I'm going to give you decentralization. What will you sacrifice? Will you sacrifice independence? They will agree. So negotiation meanwhile is give and take an agreement. And at the end of the day,
Thank you, Pastor.
the two men camps will agree that they want something, they want peace forever and ever.
It's not time to arrest again. It's not time for more arrest. According to Pa Hassan, it's time for negotiation. Madam Jang, just in a minute here, we don't have much time. 4 people have been arrested in Belgium regarding the Anglophone crisis. What is your take? Do you think is something good?
I just want to say that maybe I'll join my voice to that of many Cameroonians out there who wants that war to end. It is time for action, and I don't think arrest is bringing the necessary action that we need to resolve the crisis. So let us start bringing actions, things that will help to resolve the crisis. And it is already so it has taken so much time. We need immediate action. Like, we are calling for immediate action, immediate resolution of the crisis. Put a stop to the Anglophone crisis. That is my take. That is what I am advancing here. Let us try by every means to put a stop. All those arrests, to me, I think it is a distraction. Let us do everything to put a stop. That is all.
Mr. Prince Pierre Jede, what is your take on this issue of the Anglophone crisis? 4 more persons have been arrested in Belgium.
Yes, I think that I'll go in the same line with Mr. Sama Hassan. The arrests, and then what is it? Is it the solutions? Is it the solutions to the problem that the people have been waiting? No, the Anglophone problem, or the Anglophone crisis, is a political problem that people have been crying for years. Today we are running 8-9 years down the drain. People are dying every day. There is no day on this planet Earth that you know here that somebody has been slaughtered in the northwest or the southwest in connection with the Anglophone crisis. People are targeted. I follow the crisis in the fandom of late. When I was following the crisis, sorry, maybe I'll take, when I was following the crisis, I realized that the fund made a statement that they used the Amber Boys for him to leave his land. That is, for 10 good years, he was not in his fandom. And then the people came after, they did what they did, and then they said he's no longer their friend. But I watched how he went back some days back, and then when I saw the euphoria, then I said, is this not the matter? They said that they have. So you see that the Anglophone crisis have divided people. That is what I wanted to bring. The Anglophone crisis have brought enmity within people. The Anglophone crisis have sowed seeds of discord. Many people see their brothers as black legs and all whatnot. So we are saying that, Mr. Tabi, we cannot continue living like this. It is time for us to go to the drawing board. I've always proposed that if they don't want to sit on that round table, they should even look for there are carpenters who are prepared to make square tables for people, triangular tables for people to sit and see how we can come up with this and I conclude by saying that it's a political crisis and it needs a political solution.
A political problem, a political solution. Mr. Amashi Fabrice, in a minute we are concluding. What is your take on the Anglophone problem?
We all agree that the Anglophone crisis has existed for 10 years, and for that 10 years, there have been arrests day in, day out. Those who they are following, those that are pursuing to go and arrest in the diaspora are people who were basically home when it started. They all escaped to the diaspora. Now they are pursuing them to go and arrest them in the diaspora. Why arrested them in the diaspora? Just yesterday, upon the news of the arrest, 4 militaries were killed. This morning, 2 civilians have been killed. Now, how do we judge this? Is the arrest the way forward to go? Who is benefiting from this crisis? If we go to the Anglophone regions, in the Anglophone villages, we are going to see a lot of things that are beyond human belief, beyond human imagination. Who is benefiting from this crisis? Is this the people in power? Because our elite are using the crisis to swell their pockets, to to feed their families by keeping the population hostage, putting them in fear in the name of the crisis. But is that what we are supposed to be facing? The arrest is not a way to go.
Thank you.
Will all hell break loose if our president, the father of the nation, come down from the high horse and sit with his brothers, the Sako, the Ayaba, that let us discuss this thing out and give peace to our people? For how long are we going to keep killing ourselves, creating enmity between ourselves? We need a sustainable solution. That is why we are pleading that let our leaders look into it in the way of the people, not in the way of the Western world. We need another approach, not the arrest. The arrest is not the way to go. It is not helping the situation.
Thank you, Fabrice. Thank you very much. We did not have much time to discuss on the Anglophone crisis. We know that the Pope is coming and he will be visiting Bamenda. Bamenda is seriously preparing to welcome the Pope. Certainly, you will discuss about the Anglophone crisis. The Women's Day celebration is tomorrow. We say Happy Women's Day to all the women of Cameroon, beginning with the First Lady of Cameroon, Madame Chantal Biya. Happy Women's Day to all women watching Camdis television. There will be a celebration at the level of Camdis television tomorrow as from 8:30 p.m. We say happy celebration to all of you as you are looking forward to this day. We say thank you for coming, gentlemen. We take another appointment with the Republican debate next week, Saturday, on the same channel. But meet me again on Monday for the program Selatu, when it will be 6:30 p.m. in Yaoundé. Till then, we say, may the Almighty God continue to bless the Republic, as we all say, Ubuntu.